Good afternoon, sober family. And if you're not sober, that's okay. Our goal here on One Sober to Another is to give you the tools you need in order to live a better quality of life. I'm Wayne. I'm an alcoholic. Today's daily reflection for 21 January 2021, serving my brother. Let's go. This is it. The moment you've been waiting for. Your chance to start your day with a little bit of motivation and maybe a little bit of direction. Before we get started, let me apologize for one big crucial mistake I made here on YouTube. And I was trying to serve you guys a little bit better by getting my message out there and getting the words of recovery out there, that I really screwed it up. I used shock titles in order to get people to look at the videos that were being put out, and I jacked it up, folks. I'm here to say I'm accountable for my mistake and it won't happen again. My titles were a little misleading because I named them just to grab viewers, and I actually lost some of you folks, and guess what? I apologize for that, and I'm going to do it the way that it's supposed to be done on One Sober to Another, and that is give you exactly what the daily reflections are and what my experience, strength, and hope is, in hopes that you can get something from it to help you along your journey in sobriety or recovery. Let's get into today's daily reflection, serving my brother. The member talks to the newcomer not in a spirit of power, but in a spirit of humility and weakness. Alcoholics Anonymous, Comes of Age, page 279. As the days pass in AA, I ask God to guide my thoughts and my words that I speak. In this labor of continuous participation in the fellowship, I have numerous opportunities to speak. So I frequently ask God to help me watch over my thoughts and my words, that they may be true and proper reflections of our program, to focus my aspirations once again to seek His guidance, to help me be truly kind and loving, helpful and healing, yet always filled with humility and free from any true trace of arrogance. Today, I may very well have to deal with this disagreeable attitudes or utterances, the typical stock and trade attitude of the still suffering alcoholic. If this should happen, I will take a moment to center myself in God so that I will be able to respond from a perspective of composure, strength, and sensibility. Today I come to you guys not as anybody who is arrogant, because I think that's where it was going with not getting the views that I wanted here on this channel. And so I kind of sacrificed a little bit, in which I shouldn't have done. And I should have been more humble about it and had a little humility in the fact that it takes time to grow. That's all right, folks. Serving my brother, that's what today's daily reflection is all about. I'm here to help you guys understand my experience, strength, and hope, and not to be grandiose about it or to be, I'm here and everything else. And I've spoke about that before. And I ask my higher power. Now, God might not be your thing, folks. And I say it all the time. It might not be your thing. And I totally understand. But there is a higher power, a bigger strength outside of you that gives you the strength that you need in order to face the day without a drink, in order to put down, and this is a very specific statement, to put down the vodka. There's no need for 750 milliliters a day to help you solve the problems in your life. But for me, folks, that's where my drinking really came from. And when I listen to the people who have been there before in alcoholism or addiction, they weren't shrouding themselves with numbers, and they weren't shrouding themselves with, I made it, therefore you have to listen to me attitude. They were talking to me in a sense that made sense. And the experiences that they shared were so common for me and so relatable that it made sense that perhaps if they could do it, then maybe I could too. That's the whole goal of this channel, One Sober to Another. It's not to bring views. It's not to, get people to like me. It's to spread a very simple message that sobriety and recovery is possible. If you're an alcoholic like me, or if you're an addict like Veterans for Anxiety, Seth Perry, and all these other folks that have gone through a lot of tribulation in order to get where they are today. It is possible to be sober. It is possible to live a life that is fulfilling and that has joy and happiness. And for me, the person with the opportunity to speak to you, I have to ask my higher power to guide my thoughts, because thoughts drive consequences, as I talked about before, if you can't control the emotion that goes with them. And for me to have my thoughts guided, as well as the words that come out of my mouth that I speak to you guys with, is something that I have to be careful of, because maybe what I say somebody might take very literally and perhaps harm themselves or something of that nature. And you know what? Nobody needs to go through that. And I definitely don't want that weight on my conscience. So I have to be smart in selecting the way that I say certain things, but also be true about them and be transparent and honest. You feel me on this? If you do, drop a comment below. I apologize if this is a little mundane, but it's been on my mind all day about, not being true to myself and trying to shortcut in YouTube in order to get ahead. It makes no sense for me, and that's not who I am, and I want you to know that. I'm going to give you truth and transparency, and sometimes honesty that is a little harsh, especially during the live stream this weekend. I still haven't titled it yet because I want to be true and transparent about what that title is. But I do want it to be a question and answer type thing, to where you guys, the viewers, chime in on the live stream, drop a question that you have on your mind, drop something that is weighting you down, and perhaps we can discuss it, and I can share my experiences that I went through in order to maybe help you, and perhaps what you put out there can help somebody else. That's the ultimate goal, folks, is that we are here for each other. I'm One Sober to Another. That's the daily reflections. That's something to chew on. Life's definitely a garden. Dig it, folks. Guess what? I'm going to see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye-bye.